One sentence summary. A group of young people go on a holiday which is ruined by zombies. Could you beat the villain? Could I beat Carl the devious club owner? Yes, I could. They say with bears, you haven't got to be faster than the bear, you've just got to be faster than the person you're with. The same is true for zombies, I feel. If Carl's given a big un, being evil and stuff, at the club, which is like ground zero for the outbreak, I'm just going to, twist his ankle, break his leg, something along those lines. He's going to be lying on the floor. The zombies will eat him. Happy days. How would you improve this film? Super Hans from Peep Show is in this, and I know he's a better actor than the film makes him out to be. I'm not sure about all the other characters and all the other actors, because I've seen some of them in other stuff, and they're not fantastic. They don't have great roles, so I can't really see their range. Basically what I'm saying is a lot of the acting in this is quite rough. Also, a lot of the zombies in this look pretty crap. Some of them are just people with pale faces, bit of blood on them. Fine. And then one of them, Carl's business partner or ex-boyfriend or whatever he is, it's got like a fake face that looks terrible. The airport in this film looks very, very small, and the characters don't seem to have any carry-on luggage. It was just weird. And I guess if it's a small, low-budget film, they couldn't really close down a part of Heathrow Airport. But if you can't afford that, just have them already be there, waiting for their connection outside the airport, which could just be a brick wall. You don't know. The bus driver, what was his accent supposed to be? I wasn't sure. Vaguely European of some sort, I suppose. Big Jim. He's an odd character. Presumably, he's supposed to be like Jay from The Inbetweeners, but the difference there is the joke is usually on how insecure and inexperienced Jay is, and how he says, he's swum underwater 5 miles or something like that, and it's obviously a lie. But Jim, he just says bad words about women a lot of the time, so it's not really the same joke. And also, Jim's attitude is very, very strange at the end. So he's crying because he doesn't want to die in this zombie apocalypse a virgin. And then he doesn't have sex, and then pretends that he did have sex and acts like a big man in front of the woman he knows he didn't have sex with her. Alex and Liz address each other as sis and bro the first time they meet, which is strange because it's almost like they're introducing themselves to the audience, not the other characters who know their relationship. Az is crouched on all fours on the bed checking his laptop. I don't know what he was doing there. That can't have been comfortable. And also, Az, you should not make fun of people, Az being the victim here, for putting on sun cream, right? It's a dangerous world out there. The sun will get you more likely than a zombie will. I don't like the sun. I don't know why Ellie went on this holiday. Surely she must have realised that hanging out with her ex and his friends and his sister and his sister's friend would be a bad time for her. And she spends, a good chunk of the film going, oh, thanks for letting me hang out with you. Thank you. Just seems like a bad time. Just stay home. Carl, the owner of this club, is walking around talking to patrons. That seems very, very strange to me. Also, in a, I'm going to say gross, Ibiza nightclub, you wouldn't wear a white suit, would you? It's just going to get dirty. Ugh. The island is supposed to be zombie free, and yet Carl's club is advertised as having like dead go-go dancers. Surely someone's going to shut that down. The zombie whose arm is about to be cut off has a very fake looking arm, and the risk of infection and trouble from a chainsaw at the club is crazy. They mention in the film it doesn't have to be a bite. You can get infected from like consuming zombie blood and all that sort of stuff. So if you were in a nightclub this far away from a zombie who's getting his arm chainsawed off, there's a chance you could get blood in your mouth. Anyway, the club dosed the zombies with drugs to keep them safe and keep them compliant. One zombie is given alcohol, which it says, that makes them violent. That zombie gets a bit bitey, bites Gunter, who's obviously going to die as soon as you meet him. And then a different zombie, who's not been given alcohol, but presumably has been given the same drugs to keep him calm, also goes bitey. I don't know why. Az wakes up in the toilets with his shorts down in his pants. Are we supposed to believe that Carlos sexually assaulted this young man? That's very dark indeed. Also, what happened to Az's shorts and phone? So a zombie, he's got his shorts on the floor in the toilet and his phone is in his pocket, I think. And then a zombie reaches under the cubicle door, like claws him away. Then the next time, and he's all like, ah, the next time we see him, that zombie is dead, his shorts and his phone are nowhere to be seen. What's going on? There are at least 3 pointless dance montages in this film. Didn't like them, stop wasting my time. There's that guy off the telly. You wouldn't have had to say that if you'd mentioned Alex Zane's character before, so avoid that clunky dialogue. You could have gone, hello, I'm Alex Zane's character. You may recognise me from such TV programmes such as blah blah blah. Do it like Troy McClure of The Simpsons. Or, when Alex Zane is talking, have one of the characters like, isn't he the guy who was like on that thing and he was fired or whatever for misconduct or whatever? Make it funny. But they didn't. The strobe lighting effect in that one scene and nowhere else was very, very disorientating. I did not like it. Alex and Jim, when we first meet them, they're like, oh, bloody Az, let's just leave him behind. And then they literally leave him to die. Bit harsh. I thought the characters accidentally killing a live person would come back to haunt them later in the film, but it didn't. Sometimes people are talking and they're not on screen, and then the camera will pan towards them as if like the cameraman was delayed and he was supposed to get there earlier. Don't know what was going on there. Perhaps it was a stylistic choice. The creepy bus driver says that money is no good to him in an apocalypse. Except this is not an apocalypse, it's a pandemic. So the zombies are happening, they're happening in Britain, but people are still selling package holidays and there are places or measures in place to stop the infection. If you can still buy a holiday to Ibiza, your money is still good. I don't understand why he went all creepy predatory, but there he did. Zara claims she's looking for the right filter to take a picture, but then when we see the phone in her hand, it's clearly locked, so she's not looking at any filters. Stupid. The second arm chopping off scene, we don't see much of the arm chopping off, presumably because the actor had 2 arms, so that makes sense. But it's even odder to me that the characters, they're like, oh, we've got to chop this guy's arm off to stop the zombie infection. And then they don't appear to like bandage the wound or cauterize the wound or anything. So that guy dies anyway. That was a waste of time. It's odd to me at the start that Carl says shooting people isn't his style, yet he does have a gun. And I assumed he only had a fake gun at the beginning when he's like, yeah, shooting people's not my style. And then later in the film he pulls out a real gun. So, seems like shooting people might be your style. Big Jim should not be taking pictures of women he believes are asleep. That's creepy. The promo girl, who Az teams up with, why is she not wearing a t-shirt or a shirt or something when Az is wearing a shirt and a jacket? He could have given her something. How did Carl survive being attacked by that zombie? We don't know. Alex at the end claims he's got nobody left because Big Jim and his sister are both dead. Does he not have parents or anything? Also Az, right there, harsh for Az. Rating out of 5 beers. The film starts out much better than it ends up being. The people going on holiday whilst there's a dangerous pandemic going on. Whilst there's a pandemic going on. The checks at the airports, the apps, all that sort of stuff. Feels very prophetic because this film is from 2016 and I lived through COVID-19 and are still living through COVID-19. There's a line where Big Jim says that Ellie is probably at home lightly touching herself in bed to a Jane Austen novel because he doesn't like her and he thinks she's boring. That was pretty funny. If he had been like that the entire way through instead of just saying, oh, she's a bitch, she's a slut, wee, that would have been much better in my opinion. And the shotgun blowing up a van by mistake and then everyone would be like, well, that was unexpected. That was also pretty funny. Having said that, I would give this film 4 beers out of 5.